Welcome everyone back to another episode of the Average Asian Boys podcast. My name is John,
Hey, my name's Ray.
and today we have another exciting fan mail.
We do have an exciting fan mail, but wait, just before we jump into it, John, I can see that there is a little bit of some sprouting happening on your cilantro plant there.
Yeah, that's right. It's really exciting. I mean,
That's
you won't be able to see
No,
on
you
the
won't.
video because they're not quite over the pot
It's
yet.
not, but the fact that there's some progress from last week
Yes.
that I've seen.
Yes, for
It's-
the audio-only listener, I am growing a pot of cilantro, and they have sprouted after a week.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see where this is going to go.
Yeah, that's right. And for audio listeners, you can tell John is looking at the plant and looking at the camera, looking at the plant, and then looking back at the camera.
I can't
again.
stop looking. I can't stop looking.
Yeah, I mean,
Plant.
like it's like
so fascinating.
your little babies
Yeah.
growing out there.
I know my little plant baby.
Yeah, that's right. Now, speaking of babies, do you see that segue that I just did there? Thank
Oh.
you. Now,
Oh.
speaking of babies, we have another listener, I guess, who emailed into us.
Dude, our audience is going to think one of us became a parent or something.
asking about something really specific, which I'm very, very happy to read out. Okay, so you ready, John?
I am ready.
Okay, here we go. This is from Veronica T. What was written was, "Hi, John and Ray. Really, I think an interesting topic you guys can talk about is being potential parents. Example, whether you'd adopt as single dads, how you'd raise your children, and what did you like from parenting, and what did you change from personal experience? Or, do you have names already picked out or names you'd absolutely veto? I enjoy listening to your podcasts. Keep it up. Regards, supporter of AAB." Wow, well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Veronica, for supporting the AAB.
Yeah, AAB podcast. That's right. Wow, that was kind of nice. And when we saw that email, and I was just thinking, you know what? That's actually a great topic to talk about. Whether or not we want kids, what are the names we want to do, and then parenting experience and whatnot. And I feel that for today's episode, since we always kind of mention it, we refer to it every now and then, growing up and everything, the biggest influences that we have on our lives is, of course, our parents, right? And so
Exactly.
today I was thinking, why don't we talk about growing up in our parent life and how we adapted to that
Yeah, I
lifestyle.
think the subject kind of goes hand in hand because I think the way that I was raised greatly influences how I would theoretically want to raise my children as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And just to put it out there, neither of us are neither of us are close to being parents.
Yeah, no,
So this
no.
is all theoretical.
We're still single bachelors.
This is all theoretical.
But single-
We honestly have no idea like what parenthood is like.
Well, I've seen my fair share of family movies. Cheaper by the dozen.
Yes, that's a great example.
Martin.
And the Parent Trap too. Also,
Parent Trap,
Yeah,
great.
great example.
Don't
Great
have
parent-
twins, don't divorce is what I got from that movie. No, just kidding. Twins are great.
Oh man, if I had twins, I feel like I would get them mixed up all the time. I would just be so confused.
Yeah.
And God forbid we have triplets.
Remember that episode in The Office? I don't know if you remember where Steve Carell's character brought back two Asian they brought back the waiters from as dates in their Christmas party, and then
Okay.
he forgot which one was his Asian girl date.
Yeah.
And then he ended up grabbing a marker and he secretly marked one of them. I don't know if you remember that episode.
No.
But I would probably secretly mark one
I'd
of
probably
mine.
have to do that too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Give them like a little pat in a bag, secretly put a sticky note.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Tweedledum, Tweedledee. Yeah, so parenting. Wow, this is got to be a huge topic because I don't even know where to start. Like, do we just start coming out of the womb? How do we feel? What are our thoughts?
Well, I mean, I don't think we had any thoughts that early.
You know what? My mom always reminded me of how difficult birthing me was. She says she kind of holds it over my head, and I'm like, I'm sorry, maybe I was like a big baby or something, but it took her 20 hours of labor
Oh wow.
to birth me. Yeah,
Damn.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
difficult.
my mom always tells me the same thing as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there we got.
I carried you around for 9 months.
and all I get is this. This is what I get.
Yeah.
I'm also one of the like colic babies.
Huh?
So no, colic babies, I think they're called. Anyways, they're babies who cry for 100 days.
Oh, okay.
So I'm that baby as well who cry for days and days and days, and my mom would never let me forget that.
Apparently, I was a kicker in the womb.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, very active.
just eager to get out there.
I guess
see
so.
the world.
Yeah.
Traveler John.
Yeah.
Ready to exit the womb
I'm ready.
and see
Since
the
day
world.
one. Yeah. Ready to go walk.
That's right. So how do we begin? How do we start this, John?
Well, I guess I would start by talking about my earliest memory of growing up with my parents.
Okay.
So my family immigrated from Taiwan when I was 6 years old. My mother was a full-time like stay-at-home mom.
Right.
So she stayed at home to watch over us all the time. And then my dad went back to Taiwan to make the money. And so so my mom obviously had a lot of time to watch over us. And what I remember was that I basically didn't have a lot of freedom when I was a kid. You know, when you're young, you just want to like run around and go see a bunch of places, right? But my mom, when she lets me play outside, she like strictly forbade me to like wander somewhere that's not within like I guess her field of vision. I don't know where she's like, I don't know if she's like hunkered down in the attic, just like looking out with a telescope or binoculars.
Right.
Yeah, but basically we couldn't go anywhere where she couldn't see us. So I couldn't leave. I couldn't go to another block. I couldn't go to my friend's backyard or my friend's place.
Right.
Because I don't know, she was worried that something would happen to us. So I feel like growing up, like my entire world was just like that block that we lived in, because I couldn't go anywhere else.
And you have a brother, don't you?
I have a little brother as well.
You have a little brother. Okay.
Yeah.
So both of you guys were also under that rule, kind of?
Yeah, but I think I was the more adventurous one. I was always the one who would like drag him along on my adventures to like sneak off to like the other block, the forbidden block.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
Nocturne Alley from Harry Potter.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I've always felt like I was just very, I guess, trapped, from doing anything. And I guess that kind of explains the way that I am right now. You know me, I love to just explore places, and like look through every like nooks and crannies and corners, because every corner could be something new out there. So I think that's kind of how I felt as a kid. I just remember not being able to go anywhere, not being able to do the things that I wanted to do, just feeling very trapped and frustrated. I think.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I also remember that I would break a lot of rules, to kind of get my way.
Yeah.
I loved playing video games as a kid. And, my mom was very strict on the amount of time that I could play video games.
Yeah.
So I remember that I would wait until she hops in the shower and then sneak in like a 15-minute video game session. So I feel like I grew up being very, I guess, deceitful as well. And that was, I guess, to protect myself, and my sanity.
Because there's just too many rules, so you gotta
exactly
rebel a little bit.
Yeah, or I gotta lie my way out of a couple rules, I guess.
Yeah.
And the big problem with that is I feel like I became a compulsive liar, because everything that I did, I had to figure out a way to make it so that I'm not in a wrong, or I had to lie to my parents so like I don't get in trouble, again, to like protect myself, I guess.
Right.
So I feel like I was just lying to my parents all the time, and that's not great. That obviously.
Yeah.
And the problem is it kind of became like a habit. Like I would just start lying to people for like no reason, no reason at all. And that's something that like still carries to this day. Actually, I don't think I've ever told anyone this, but like sometimes I find myself compulsively lying to people
You have
for like absolutely no reason.
just expose yourself to the internet, John.
Sure. I mean, you know, like this is like just me being honest, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Being honest about your lying.
Well-
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, because like that's something that I really had to work on to overcome, and then so this is why I practice like honesty and authenticity on a daily basis. Is because like I need to work on getting over my behavior of compulsively lying to people, and obviously it's like a lot better now.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
been like years since I've had to like bullshit my way out of situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just something that like sticks to you. So yeah, that's
So that was kind of the early snapshot of
yeah.
what it felt like. Like these are the
Yeah.
most intense memories that you feel.
Yeah.
Back then, it's just like being confined.
Yeah, it's just like Eddie
your
Guerrero.
block.
You know, I lie, I cheat, I steal. Well, I didn't steal, but
And the
I
lying.
just
yeah.
but I did a lot of lying and cheating.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay. All right. Let's see. For me, yeah. I mean, I was mostly raised by my mom, even though my dad was there, but he was working, but he was also not very present in a sense. And so I think my mom. One way to describe my mom is definitely also very overprotective. Very overprotective. Really wants to shield me from everything and
Yeah.
shelter me. And so my mom also watches a lot of movies and watches a lot of dramas.
Yeah.
And so the way that I feel movies and dramas work is anything bad that's going to happen will happen in those movies. So I think sometimes a bit of her mindset is that, holy crap, anything that can happen, like, almost like Murphy's Law, almost like, it will will happen badly.
Yeah.
So
My mom was kind of like that too, except with like current event stuff. So she'll be like, "Oh man, somebody got shot in like Florida. You might get shot today."
yeah.
I'm like, what?
That's great. So I love you, son. Just so you know that before you get shot.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? Yeah. I think my mom's the same thing too.
Right.
And I think so. For me, some things happen where I think she told me a story of when she was in Disneyland and she was carting me around, in a little stroller. And she always tells me like, "Hey, son, remember when I took you to Disneyland when you were like 1 year old?" And I'm like, "Mom, what a waste." Because I remember nothing.
That's why I'm never taking my.
That's
I'm
right.
never taking a kid like when they're 1 or 2 and they don't remember anything.
Never taking my kid when they're exactly.
Yeah, because they don't remember shit.
Just don't do anything nice to them.
Yeah.
When they're 1 or 2.
Yeah,
'cause they'll
that's
forget.
that's my plan.
Yeah, really start being nice to them when they've started developing memories. Just like when you're going to university, don't do anything good in grade 8 and grade 9. Really focus in grade 12. I'm kidding. Oh my God, I'm kidding. Just kidding. Please don't take my word for it because I am a professional. Don't take my word. I'm only kidding. Please stay in school. Do your best you can. Anyways, coming back to the topic there. And so, anyways, when she was in Disneyland, she was looking at something. She was shopping. So she placed my stroller there, literally right beside her. And she turned and looked at something. And then when she looked back, there's an old man who took the seatbelt off my stroller and lifted me up.
Oh, holy
and
shit.
he was like, "What a cute baby you have." And she's like, "Oh, what the?" She quickly took back.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah, that's right. I guess.
Like, what
I
the
guess
fuck?
So. I guess so in Disneyland of all places too. And I mean, maybe that old man. I don't know what was happening there. I mean, I was the one being lifted. But
I mean, like, I'm pretty sure you don't just grab other people's babies.
I guess so.
without
Even in the early '90s, eh?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, there you go. You've been blessed.
I mean,
by
yeah. I'm glad
creepy
I'm
old man.
still alive, really. But and not being kidnapped in Disneyland. So I think. She's telling me these stories, and so she's telling me, every time I'm asking her, why are you doing this? It's because, could have gotten kidnapped by an old man. There was also another story where when I was with my mom in the department store, I think I was 5 or so. So I'm out of the stroller now. Okay, I can walk.
Nice.
She was looking at something again, and I took that opportunity to leave her.
You just know like the best time. You're just like,
Yeah, the moment she's being distracted by capitalism, I'm like, all right, now's the time for my escape.
Yeah.
And she turned back and I was gone. I was completely gone,
Nice.
missing. And so she immediately went to the store supervisor and told her, my son's missing. Like, can you please like watch all the exits? And the store supervisor basically closed out all the exits.
Yeah.
Did
Block all the exits.
store-wide announcement looking for this little boy, and they were trying to look for her.
Yeah.
And look for me. And I think after maybe 5-10 minutes, they finally found me, and I was actually having tea with this other little girl,
Yeah.
like invisible tea at the toy section.
Nice.
And yeah, and then to this day, my mom also would never let me forget about those times that I'm gonna run away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, there you go. No more tea parties.
Yeah, no more
for-
tea
for
parties.
you.
No more. Oh my god, no more tea parties until very deep into my adult life.
Yeah, then you can't
I had
tea
one
party.
tea party when I was 5, and then later on, I had to wait until I was
Damn.
25.
Yeah, you missed out on years of tea partying.
Years
Feel-
of tea party.
Feel bad for you.
Oh my gosh, it was. Oh gosh. So yeah, I mean, it was. My mom didn't let me go out in the yard, so that's also one thing. I think also being an only child.
Like in your yard?
Yeah, not even in my yard. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Because she just didn't want me to. She just wanted me, I think, just to be within the vicinity. She wants to feel my aura to still be there.
Yeah.
And so, and I think being the only child as well, there's just an extra kind of focus on me. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I got a little brother, so at least I can be like, yo, run a distraction.
yeah, I'd rather
I wanna go
distraction
play.
yeah, you're here like Ocean's 2. you know, like you got 2 people, and then you can kind of run some heists.
You know what's funny? Like one of the ways that I remember in high school, one of the ways that we would try to communicate to each other without our parents understanding is we would speak to each other. We would speak to each other in French, high school level French. I don't know what
What better way to learn a language?
I know. I'm like, well, obviously we can't use Mandarin. It's like, hey, how much French do you know? I don't know how we pulled that off. Like we couldn't have learned that much French.
Well, I mean, you did it. You were able to get the communications through.
Yeah.
Until one day your parents start learning French themselves,
Like,
then the jig is up.
Yeah. Yeah. Then we have to learn something new.
Yeah. How about you and friends? Like how were like did your parents let friends come over? Did they let you go over to other people's houses during, let's say, elementary school? Like how was that relationship?
Yeah. I mean, we could have friends over, but it was harder for me to go over to a friend's place because, again, she wouldn't be able to like physically see me or whatever.
Yeah.
I never really understood that because it's like, what's the next safest place I could be at? A friend's house, you know? Like, what do you think is gonna happen there?
See,
really?
my mom would be like, I've seen a lot of movies where it's actually the friend who is the backstabber at the end.
Oh,
of the show.
sure.
So they are gonna stab you.
Yeah,
when
clearly.
you least expect it.
Yeah. And I just remember like I just wanted to go to my friend's place so badly because I just wanted to play like Super Smash Bros.
Yeah.
On a Nintendo 64 that I didn't have. Mm-hmm. You know?
That's always the case.
Exactly.
It's not really the friend, it's the console. That's what the friend plays.
And I have just been exposed again.
No, I mean, it's the same thing here. My mom it'd be fine to have friends over because she thinks that like, yeah, it would be great. Like, I'm able to have my son and I'm able to make my son look good by having like a cool place to hang out, with his friends and stuff.
Right,
and
right.
That's how but going to other people's houses, my mom really wasn't comfortable with that.
Yeah, unless like she came over herself.
Yeah.
I guess.
Which is,
But she would only do that my mom would only do that with the people that she was comfortable with.
That's
aka,
right.
Like her friends.
same here.
Yeah.
Mostly the one Asian parent.
Yeah,
The one
exactly.
other Asian parent.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I grew up in North Van, and French immersion, so most of the parents were white. So
Yeah, same. And like in my block, where we were one of the 2 Asian
Yeah.
families.
yeah,
So yeah,
so
didn't have a lot of options there.
exactly. So it's like, the one Asian mom, and yeah, and so I think that was the friend that I hung out with the most at the time. But it's not like I liked him particularly more than other people.
You just
but
got to
it's
see him more often.
Yeah, that's right. He did have a Nintendo, like a Super Nintendo.
Sick.
So yeah, played a lot of Donkey Kong. So I think, what about for me, it was definitely when we're kind of transitioning into high school.
Mm-hmm.
It was, we're going through a lot. We're going through puberty. We're going through trying to figure out our lives because high school, everything mattered, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
And so making friends was
They
difficult.
thought it mattered.
That's right. And things just kind of became a little bit more difficult. I think things became a little bit more sensitive. And I think during that time, I kind of struggled a little bit because my mom was also very, we talked about before, my mom was very keen on studies, right?
Okay.
And getting into university. And so a lot of it was like, okay, well, you've had your fun when you were a child with your friends. That's fine.
And you're like, what fun? Exactly. Like, what are you talking about?
Exactly. I'm like, wait, this was fun? This was the fun that I got? Like, yeah, you've had your fun, son.
Yeah.
Now it's time for you to, really hunker down. So no girls,
Yeah.
but, that was difficult with puberty. And
No doubt.
yeah, and just, no, you can't. I basically didn't even get to go to a lot of birthday parties. So
Oh yeah,
there was
that
a time.
that really sucks.
Yeah.
I've missed out on a couple birthday parties as
Right?
well.
There was a time where friends would ask me like, "Hey, can't you come to my birthday party? I invited you." And I'm thinking, I really want to, but I told them my mom won't let me.
Yeah.
And I think for the longest time, people were just like really confused and like,
Yeah,
they're just
I went through the exact same experience. Too.
Right? Yeah.
You're like, what do you mean your mom won't let you? You're like,
These white
you're
kids.
fucking 13. Like,
yeah, you're 13.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
You're 13. You're your own man.
Yeah.
You should be able to do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, these white kids are just like, yeah, my mom goes to work and everything, and yeah, because my mom didn't work, my mom quit her job to raise me, and so,
Oh, okay.
so a lot of the attention again was
Yeah,
placed
she
on
had
me.
a lot of time as well to look
Yeah,
after you.
that's right, and so. It's not like, I know a lot of my friends, they're like, yeah, both my parents are working, so I just have the home to myself for like 2-3 hours.
You're like, wow, I wonder what that's like.
What is that like?
Yeah.
Like, what you mean you can just go and just get stuff from the fridge or get stuff from the cookie jar and stuff and just like make your own stuff? Well, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's that's insane. And so it was definitely difficult. For sure.
Did your mom let you go anywhere like after like school ended?
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Yeah, same
No.
here.
Pick me up right from the car
Yeah, same.
and then just go home
Yeah.
or go to Kumon or some sort of math
Yeah.
after school math
Nice.
program.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, same here. It's like she drives me to school, and then right after school, I have to go get picked up. And then so sometimes, I would kind of show up late
Yeah.
because, I'm trying to like socialize, God forbid.
Yeah.
And then so I'd be like 15, 20 minutes late, and then like my mom would get like super pissed off at me.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
fuck it.
Yeah.
I want to talk to girls.
That's right. And that's right. And like I said, during that time, you just want to do things. And I don't know, there was just a point of frustration where you're just thinking like, wow, all these other kids, they get to do all these things. They get to
Yeah,
hang out at
and just, like,
McDonald's after school.
They get to go to the mall.
Yeah, they get to go.
And I'm just like, I wonder what that's like.
I get to go to the mall too, but with my mom carrying her groceries.
Oh, nice.
Those are the things I do.
Yeah.
Go to the mall.
Or like go to the movies with friends.
Oh,
I think
never had to do that.
I think the first time I was allowed to go to the movies with a friend I was 14, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to me, that was just like, wow, this is great.
Yeah, this is what it's like.
Yeah.
I remember I think in grade 10 I get to go snow tubing with some friends on a weekend.
Nice.
And that was, to me, I think I took a picture of that day of all of us.
But you had a cell phone that day?
No, we had like digital cameras, those like classic.
You had a digital camera?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was a
What the-
classic digital camera. Yeah, it was like those like dummy cameras, like 2 megapixels or whatever.
Was it like your mom's, or did you
No.
buy it yourself?
I think I saved.
you
up-
owned it?
I owned it. Yeah.
Wow, you saved up to buy a digital
Yeah,
camera?
but it was on Boxing Day. It was like $80 or something.
That's a lot for like
That
a
was
high
a
school
lot.
person.
That was a lot. But hey, that took a lot of memories. So we took a lot of pictures and everything. And I think I took a picture of that day, and I was so happy about that day. And I don't know. For me, it was just always. I'm trying to tell my mom, like, Mom, I really want this life, but I can't really confront her about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm very non-confrontational. So I would just that day, that snow tubing day, I would post that picture on all my like laptop, desktop wallpaper.
MySpace.
Yeah.
Zanga.
Yeah, and then I would just like always lift it up. I'm like, see, Mom, this is the happiest day of my life. And then my mom would just be like, what the hell? Like, you mean all those years, all those 9 months I carried you in the womb?
How was Disneyland not the happiest day?
Yeah. And all those times we went to Disneyland.
Explain that, son.
Yeah, this is your happy. You went snow tubing for 2 hours. This is the happiest moment of your life.
Yeah.
And I said, yes, Mom. This is I like my friends. I want to hang out with my friends. And so that was kind of what it was like, really.
I think I've only recently I've kind of started talking to my parents more about what, like, the way that I was raised, you know. So I talked to my mom and I'm like, hey, how come you didn't let me do this and you let me do that, right?
Yeah.
Why were you so I guess paranoid about my safety?
Mm-hmm.
And then so the way that she explained to me was, you know, she's alone, all in Canada, right?
Yeah.
Like, my dad's not around to like help her. And then she was just really scared, you know, and I can totally understand that, you know, she's new to the country. She doesn't really know how things work. And she was just really scared of like something bad happening.
Yeah.
As, you know, as like, she's basically like a single mom trying to raise us. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of, I understand. I really did.
Yeah.
It would be like super hard. Like, I don't know how, I don't even know how she did it, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? So I understood, I understand where she's coming from.
Yeah.
And I think my advice for like any listeners out there who are having issues or did have issues with their parents as well is to try to understand where your parents are coming from and to like listen to their side of the story. I know it's really hard, but if you can understand the reasons like for what they do, then it's a lot easier to, I guess, move on and kind of, I guess, you know, just accept that this is how life, this is the cards that you're handed to in life. And all you can do is like, you know, play with what you got.
Do you think that had you during that time communicated with your mom and asked her during those years, not looking back, no, I'm not talking about looking back now, but I'm talking about during that time, during, let's say, in high school, if you like sat her down and communicate with her and talked to her and then asked, like, tell her like, these are the things that I want, are we able to find a compromise? Do you think she would go for it?
I think the most frustrating thing about trying to resolve things with my parents at that time is there was no communication whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like, I'm the parent, you know, what I say.
That was
is how
exactly
it
the same
goes.
for me too. Yeah.
And I'm just like, what am I supposed to work with here? You know, like, how can I accept that this is life?
Yeah.
Like, I cannot accept this.
Right.
And when there's no room for argument and there's no explanation of what's going on, you know, that just creates a lot of resentment and fucked me up, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, mentally.
That's right.
And that's kind of a reason why I'm such a crazy motherfucker today. Because I endured all those years of just like losing my sanity.
Yeah.
And there's just nothing I can do about that. It's
right.
Like, I have no options. And that was really frustrating because my mom would always be like, yeah, like, you can talk to me. Like, why don't you talk to me about things? Like, I don't understand. And it's because I spent like, I don't know, 20 years trying to like communicate with my parents, and they just don't really, they just don't know how to communicate well, you know?
Yeah.
And I kind of get it. They weren't really like raised, like, when they growing up, right, they weren't really raised that way as well, right? Like, their parents probably treated them the same way. So they didn't understand how to have like a two-way conversation with me. So yeah, again, it's like all about trying to understand where your parents come from, right?
Right.
Like, I can't fix what happened in the past, but it's.
So you think that they wouldn't budge if you had, let's say, talked to them during that time?
I definitely tried.
Yeah. Oh, you did. So you did try, but
yeah.
it just didn't work at all.
I'm like, yo, I'm not happy. Like, I want to go out and like go to friends' birthday parties and stuff.
Yeah.
too.
When did the kind of strict shelteredness stop, or did it ever stop?
probably when I was 22,
Uh-huh.
I think.
Okay.
And I think the only reason it stopped is because I started working at a restaurant where I had to work pretty late until like 2 a.m. at night
Right.
or 2 a.m. in the morning. And then so it's like, okay, well, John's going to be out late because he has to work.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of how it stopped eventually, I guess.
Right.
But I like, even when I was, I don't know, 23, 24, right? I still had that habit of like, I always had to ask my parents for permission before I could leave the house, because that was just like something that I had grown up with my whole life.
Yeah.
So
I think it was actually very much the same for me. It was a lot of just asking my mom, also just getting denied certain things. But I think
Yeah.
when I had that evening job as well, it was a lot easier because, I'm going to work and then I can kind of determine my own hours. And I think there's a certain sense that also just going to university and then going to work, there was just no way for my mom to enter those areas,
Yeah.
and be able to get answers that she wants, because now that you've become an adult, in high school, if you have your parent or guardian come in, they want something, they want like records, they want to speak to somebody regarding your behalf. Yes, that's fine.
yeah,
But I think when university, they can't anymore. And so they're kind of losing that power a little bit. But at the same time, those were like very contentious. Those were difficult years as well. Coming in 23, 24. I mean, the very first time I ever got to live alone or be out of alone, was 24. Yeah, when I went on that trip.
that must have been magical.
That was a magical year.
moment.
I think the time where when I got to go on a plane without my mom, with my cousin to Taiwan.
Another magical moment.
That was just like, I just felt like,
I remember that too.
oh my
for
God,
me.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then remember what we talked about before? I think there was a time where when I talked about that Taiwan thing, like I felt like I could be myself, or like be a different person or reinvent myself, right? And so that was
Got all the swag in the world.
Yeah, that's right. And so for
No
me,
parents breathing down my neck.
I just thought I could do anything, and when I had that feeling, and I was able to do anything I wanted. Since that trip, I felt like I wanted to kind of capture that feeling, right, and just do everything on my own, because I really enjoy that kind of independence.
Yeah.
And so that was something that I really, really love, and it was funny because during that time, like all these things that we got to do at 24. It's funny because a lot of people were able to do that even like back when they were 17.
When they were 14.
14 or 18. Like go to the dance. Like, what was that like? I don't know if I ever mentioned this in a previous podcast, but my very first dance was in grade 12.
Oh, okay.
And the reason why I got to go to that dance is because I was elected as vice president of student council.
Oh, that's how I got to my first dance as well.
Yeah,
I was grade 10. Yeah. And so I was in the student council.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey, this is a student council stuff. I need to be here. They were like,
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. And I got to organize because I organized my very first dance.
Oh, it's so funny.
So I finally got to go to my very first high school dance, and that was in
Yeah.
grade 12. And I didn't know what I was doing.
I don't remember anything that happened in that dance. I just remember like
No.
high school people. I just remember like some people like got caught like drinking and they got in, like huge trouble.
People were grinding. That was the very, very first time seeing grinding happen. And I think I got grounded on by a classmate, and I just never saw her the same way ever again.
Oh, you mean grinded on?
Grounded. I don't even see. That's how out of the loop I am.
You're like grounded. I'm like by your parents.
Yeah, grinded.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
right. That's right.
Okay, that makes more sense.
I was grinded.
Wow.
I was grinded.
That must have been a magical moment too.
Well, I didn't know what to do.
I wouldn't know what to do.
I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
It was just really weird.
I'd just be like,
It was. It was just weird. It was like an awkward moment, and then we just detached from each other.
nice.
And then and I was like,
That sounds
wow,
like a great dance.
That was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. Person who went to my high school. I didn't know. That was my very first time.
Oh man! I just feel like getting to touch a girl. I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do now?
And so and I think during those times it was and rugby, what I did was I joined the rugby team, and that was able
To get the
deliver-
girls.
not to get not to get the girls, but to pad my my kind of high school, university application.
Ah, yes.
But I've always wanted to play a team sport, and I've always wanted to capture that feeling.
Oh, I joined my high school soccer team to do the exact same thing. Can't play soccer for shit. Like I was basically a glorified bench warmer.
Pretty terrible rugby player as well. So yeah, we were there, yay, like this will get our scholarships.
Yeah. Like, I remember the coach was like, "All right, let's do penalty kick drills." Right? I kicked the ball and ended up in the street. Like, oh boy, I think it went backwards too somehow.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how I don't even know how I did that.
So it was just a lot of that. Just like a lot of just like arranging it so that it'll reflect on like it's for a good cause.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
That's
exactly.
how we started to think beyond the box, be outside of the box, and able to get to do the things we're able to do.
Well, I was just lying, cheating, and
Okay.
stealing my way through. Minus the stealing.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. But now, now as we're, coming a little closer just to kind of fast forward to when we're coming into adulthood and we're entering our 30s and, moving out, how is that whole conversation gone? Like so you said that they started to let go of
When I was in my early 20s.
early 20s, right? And so when you approached them about moving out, was that something that they've always wanted for you?
I'm not really sure. I don't really remember how it started.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't think it was like me approaching them or anything. It just kind of came up.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm already in my 30s, then it's just like
Matter of
kind
time.
it's just like a very natural conclusion, I guess.
Right.
I mean, I guess before, like, I have talked to them about moving out, right? But the conversation usually went like, oh man, renting sure is expensive in Vancouver. Maybe I'll just stay at home. And they're totally cool with that. They're like, yeah, stay
We
at
had a
home.
basement suite too,
Save
John.
some money, you
Yeah,
know?
you had a basement.
Like,
suite,
yeah,
so
good.
it's like-
Take all that money I save and go travel.
Yeah,
instead.
yeah.
We'll spend on like
It was like
frivolous
a
things.
pretty good separation, I think, from the kind of like parent. And yes, parents live like above you, but there was, I think, like having a basement kind of towards yourself for yourself. It's
Yeah,
like
I mean, I definitely had like in my early 20s, I definitely had a burning desire to get away from my parents, right?
Yeah.
But then like when I started getting older and there was, less problems with them and I started making more money,
Yeah.
I'm also starting to think, man, how do I save all this money that I'm making? And then like staying at home just became a more like a practical thing.
That is true.
And like the logical step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I think later on, as we kind of in the middle of 26, 27, my mom and I, we moved into a smaller 1-bedroom apartment in downtown. And that was definitely difficult for me to just be able, because, sleeping on the couch and then kind of.
Yeah, it just occurred to me like that was a 1-bedroom apartment.
That was, yeah.
So you would have had to sleep on the couch.
Yeah, that's right. Well,
Yeah.
the couch was also a sofa bed too.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah,
Not the most comfortable.
not the
thing.
most comfortable. You've been to my place a couple times during that time, and it was just like a small space, right?
Yeah.
So every time if you wanted to set up a table or bring a table, you literally have to set up a table.
Yeah.
And
And then we turn your couch/bed into like the gaming table, the
yeah,
gaming seat. I
yeah,
guess.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And then it just became, it was fine, but at the same time, there are still rules, right? You're still living under a certain set of rules.
Okay.
So if you go out late at night, you're gonna get those phone calls. You're gonna get those phone calls about when you're gonna come home, when you're gonna do all these things, right?
Right.
And that part is you still have to answer to somebody when you come back, right? And if you invite people over, that's also a little difficult too, because you're inviting, these people that you're inviting over to your place need to be mom approved.
Right.
Right, and so that kind of, less strangers the better, and the capacity is smaller, so that kind of prompted me to head on out.
I think for me, I stopped being able to have people over because so my dad when I was in high school, my dad came to Canada to permanently settle with us.
Yeah,
And I guess like my dad is like super antisocial, so he doesn't like having other people, like other strangers around that place.
Yeah.
And then so I was never able to have friends over after he came to live with us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even downstairs in the basement suite?
Well, in the basement, it was okay.
Okay.
But it's like by that time, I had lost the desire to want to have people over because that was just never an option for so long.
Right.
So, yeah. So it's only like now that I've got my own place. Now I'm like, yeah, I want to
Yeah.
have people over.
That's right.
Throw parties 24/7.
And then the pandemic happened.
Yeah. Well, it didn't happen. It's happening now.
It's happening now.
Yeah. Like this New Year's party is gonna be so lit.
Yeah.
And everyone is must stay at home.
The BC liquor store closed at like 8, or what was it, like 8 p.m. or something like that?
Yeah,
7
holy
p.m.
shit. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm just going to bed early today.
And so yeah, and ever since I think my yearning for independence and my love for just being in control of everything.
Yeah, that's like definitely the biggest thing.
Is so
I think
strong.
Having control over your
Yeah.
life. And that's like the feeling that I got when I finally moved over to my place.
Right.
I'm just like standing there, with like my power pose. And I'm
That's
just
right.
like, I am in control of
power-
my life.
That's right. You can power
Motherfucker.
pose. You can even power pose nude if you wanted to.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody could say anything.
Sometimes I do that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
Make sure the windows are closed.
Make sure the windows are closed. It's just you
Yeah.
and these plants
Yeah.
in the nude.
And I'm just talking to the plant and Luigi.
Yeah, that's
Poor
right.
Luigi's seen me
That's
saying
right.
a few things that nobody should have to.
And that's the greatest part about living alone. It's just I've never been happier. Just like as much as I love my mom, I just being out and about by yourself. It's the greatest thing. I don't know. I just feel a lot less stressed out. I think, and yeah, just being able to invite people over, have poker nights. you know what it's like.
Yeah.
Have poker nights.
The simple things, really.
Yeah, and just or have somebody over, or have somebody sleep over, without any questions asked, or having.
Oh yeah, having a girl sleepover.
That's right. Or late night talks till 3 a.m. or something. Nobody's gonna say you're not disturbing anybody.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. It's really really nice. And so
Yeah, it's the simple things.
yeah. Now I'm just catching myself just like reminiscing right now.
Oh man, you know what we sound like right now? We sound like two people in their 20s who just moved out to like a university dorm for like the first time in their life.
That's right.
Like we are fucking late bloomers.
We are really
we are such fucking late bloomers.
We are. People
Holy
were
cow.
listening to this like, oh, we had that when we were in dorms. Like it was like
Yeah, I had that when I was 18. What are you talking
in
about?
college, it was great. Like that's the college life. And I'm like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I feel like we are living a college life right now. We're like making instant noodle for food.
That was good times.
Yeah.
Inviting girls over and just to hang out and
Yeah.
stuff. What was that like? That was great.
Wow.
Gosh, I never had that when I was 18 or 19.
Yeah.
I just had like a wall and I was staring at the wall and eating my Subway and just getting ready to go to class and then go home.
Yeah. Or just looking at the car.
Yeah.
Getting ready to hop in a car.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay, well, anyways, we should probably get on with answering the actual
We
email.
should. Now that we've kind of gotten ourselves back to this present point now that we've lived alone, after, of course, living alone, we may think about...
For an exciting, it's been 5 months for me now. I
Yeah,
think.
and it's still
Less.
4-ish years for me.
Yeah.
And now our next goal, I guess, is potentially starting a family, right? And having.
Well,
a
I don't know if
family.
that's the next goal. I mean,
Well-
I feel like the next goal is to get a girlfriend.
Okay, yeah,
first,
that's
I
true.
feel like you're missing a couple steps.
That's
here.
sorry. That's the hardest part for me. So I'm just trying to
Try not to think about
it at the moment. So, okay. So the first question is whether we adopt as single dads. See, Veronica skipped it for us already.
Oh, thanks, Veronica.
We fail in our quest
Oh my God.
in finding a life partner, would you adopt? First off, do you even like kids, John?
I think I'm neutral about kids
Ooh.
right now.
Neutral.
I'm not.
elaborate, please.
I mean, I know what the right answer is, but I'm not gonna like pretend
Yeah.
that I'm like, oh yeah, like kids are great. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You're neutral about them.
yeah, like I don't like kids, but I don't hate kids.
Okay. But do you want kids though?
Oh,
Do you see
yeah,
yourself
definitely.
having a kid?
Yeah, definitely. It's like I know I don't come off like as this way, but I spend a lot of time thinking about what the type of I guess, father figure I want to be to my
Okay.
kids.
Okay.
And like how they're gonna grow up and all that stuff. I spend a
Okay.
lot of time thinking about that. That's like the only thing I think of, like I actually think about, like in terms of like future John. I
Okay.
guess.
So there's a direction there. There's some direction there. All right, but okay, but going back to the question then if you did not find a life partner, would you adopt?
I don't think so in terms of being like a single father and adopting. If I had a life partner, I would. I think I could consider adopting someone.
Yeah.
But for me, finding a life partner is more important first than having kids
Okay.
or
Okay.
adopting a kid.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess
fair.
for me, it's like
That's fair.
it's a no. I would not adopt as a single father.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
won't
then,
adopt.
yeah, for me, the priority would be finding a partner first.
Okay. So you need to have a life partner before you consider having.
I think so.
child.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. No, that's fair. For me,
Hey, wait, you didn't ask, do you like kids?
no, I love kids. No, I
Okay.
really do. No, I do. I do.
Okay,
I've
okay.
always loved kids, and I
Nice.
just. How many kids did you want?
Two's good.
Two's good for me.
Yeah.
I always say two with an accidental third. Like I'm okay with that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in case.
Two. Yeah. Two is great because there's like one empty seat in the car for
Yes.
more space.
Yeah. What about
And
the age gap?
a lot of good board games are for four players.
Yeah,
Five is just awkward.
Yeah.
Age gap, not too big. Like age gap between the kids or age gap between you and your kid?
No, between the kids.
Between the kids, I'd say 2 years maybe.
Okay, yeah.
2 to 3 years.
I think
Nothing too crazy.
I think 4 years is good for me.
4 years.
Yeah, and
Okay.
and obviously this is like, this part is beyond my control, but like for me the ideal gender for the kids is like an older sister and a younger brother.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. For me, it doesn't matter. I think. But like, I can see that. Yeah. Older sister, younger brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for me, doesn't matter. It would be nice to have one boy, one girl. I think that would be nice.
I think having said that though, I'm actually really, really scared to have like a girl, like, because
It is.
well, first of all, like speaking as a guy, I know like the crazy extent that we will go to get a girl's attention,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No kidding.
And I feel like knowing that, I would just become like the shotgun, the dad with the shotgun sitting on a porch.
Yeah. I will.
I feel like that's gonna be me
I
if
will
I had a
gift wrap a
I had
shotgun
a-
for you
yeah,
on the
if I-
day
if-
of your
if I-
daughter's
if-
birth.
If I had a girl, I feel like I would turn into that guy.
Just a little Nerf
The
shotgun.
guy, or like the date my daughter application. dad.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it'll be really stressful.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I hope she'll make the right choices. Oh, God.
Well, I'm
There's a little tremble in my voice.
I'm just like, girl, you gotta learn self-defense.
Yeah, yeah. Where's the
Before anything
straight out of the womb, slap some boxing gloves on her, and then it's like, all right, daughter, let's get ready.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Because like I feel like as a guy, I take my safety for granted.
Yeah, no kidding.
But hearing the experiences of our female friends, I'm like, holy shit, it's a totally different world.
No,
out
it
there.
100% is.
And that fucking sucks.
You just like, I forgot, there was a comedian who described it. He said, I think it was Dave Chappelle. And he said, like, when he was a kid, I think he was entrusted with putting $300 in his pocket. And then he needs to like bring it over and give it to his mom or something like that.
Yeah.
And so he was during the time when he was on the train and everything, he was really scared because he knows, like, it was just the other day, right? But he knows that there's $300 in his pocket, and he knows that anybody on this train would love to take it if they knew he had it, right?
For sure.
And he made that comparison to being a girl. And so being a girl is just, they have to live like that every day, where they essentially living like they have $300 in their pocket, you know? And like that metaphor, like kind of that comparison
That
just
makes a lot of
makes
sense.
Like, oh man, that is scary. Just having something that you know that people would want from you all the time. That's really scary for me.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we got to you about this question, but how do you feel about adoption?
Adopting, I think I might be along the same lines as you. I think For me, I would want a life partner first,
Yeah.
and then I would probably consider adopting.
Yeah. I think it would be nice to, like, I like the idea of adopting someone because you are kind of taking them from, like, I don't know, like an orphanage
Yeah,
or whatever, and just really giving them like another chance at life.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's
so I
right.
really like that idea.
So, knock on wood, if you can't conceive a child, would you adopt? You're with your life partner, and there's some complications about conceiving a child. Would you adopt then?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it would also be up to my partner for that.
Right. Of course.
Yes.
It's a two-person kind of decision.
It is.
Okay. So the next question is, how did you raise your children? What would you like from parenting, and what did you change from personal experience? So this is a good one because we just talked about our own experience and how.
Yeah, and I think it is,
Parenting is.
and I think that's why it is important that we talked about our experience first.
Exactly.
So we have a more of a preface to our responses for that question. I think for me, the way that I want to, and again, this is all like obviously hypothetical. I obviously have no idea what it's like to be a parent.
Of course.
I have some thoughts of what I would ideally like to happen, but really when it comes like time to parenthood, who knows, right?
I think it's just a learning process through and through. Like even now, parents are still learning every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
But for me, I think because like my parents were so strict on me, I would want to be, I guess, pretty loose with my kids, or just allow them to actually go out and explore the world and like discover things, and let them make mistakes. I think that's like the biggest one, because like my parents were so afraid of me making mistakes, they just didn't let me make any decisions whatsoever. And then so now, you know, I kind of struggle with, a lot of people ask me what I want to do with my life and all that kind of stuff, you know, big decision plans, right? And I find that I don't know how to make big decisions because I've never had the chance to.
Yeah,
Right?
that's right.
I don't know what I want to do with my life right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a 30-year-old person who's unemployed and has a mortgage to pay, do I have a plan? No.
That's all right.
So yeah, I think that's like the one thing that, the one big thing that is, I want my kids to be able to make decisions and not be afraid to make mistakes. And then the second big thing is, I also talked about how like me and my parents just cannot communicate, right, whatsoever. Like they just did not understand me. I couldn't have like a two-way conversation with them. So for me, I want to be able to communicate with my kids. And I don't mean like, you know, like I'm not gonna let them like talk shit to me or anything, like, you know, they still have to like respect me as a parent and everything.
Right, of
But
course.
I really want to try to like have like a dialogue, a two-way communication with my kids.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Give them the option to do that.
Yeah, no, I think that's
I don't want them to be, I don't want them to have to lie to me all the time like I did.
yeah.
You know, I want them to be able to have that trust and honesty with me.
Right. Yeah, I completely agree with both sentiments there. I think I definitely don't want to be like a super authoritative parent, you know, or just use that or like lord over them with authority,
Yeah.
you know, and just be like, oh, you know, anything I say goes because I'm the parent. I'm the one who does all these things. And then so you should listen to me because of this. I think that would cause resentment in a
I
sense.
think so.
I think, yeah, communication is very, very important. I think I'll definitely probably most likely relegate myself to being the fun dad. Because I think, and you as well. 'Cause
Yeah,
I think that's kind of who we are.
Yeah, there's that show Modern Family.
Yeah.
where like one of the guys,
Phil Dunphy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
time I see him, I'm like, holy shit, this is gonna be me. And
That
he's just,
is
like
actually
goofing off, like
That's
building
right.
stupid birdhouses.
Yeah.
And his kids are just like, what the fuck is wrong with their dad? And I'm like, that's gonna be me one day. I
That
think.
is. I think that would just be the fun times. You know, you're gonna do all these fun things, and I think that's what I want to do. I want to, yeah, I just want to create like a fun environment for my kids, but at the same time, also talk about the importance of, you know, learning and doing, you know, well in things, but then also following their passions, you know, and so whatever they're passionate about, you know, let's see what we can do and kind of explore
Yeah.
and everything. And so Yeah, definitely still teach them about morals and moral values and such, and that's very, very important. But also, try to do it in a fun, kind of engaging way.
Yeah, I think it's like important to also like have like the awkward and difficult conversations with your kids too, like talking about sex,
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
That's right.
Because
And not have to look it up on a dictionary.
or from or
Definition.
learn from sex ed. You know?
Yeah, that's right.
Or like I don't want them to learn like sex from like pornography or whatever.
No,
right?
I just didn't know that. Can you imagine? That would be freaky. Like the first time you've seen intercourse,
Yeah.
like the first time you learned about how babies were made.
But I mean I don't think you're gonna learn about how babies are made.
Oh,
but-
yeah, but
But yeah, like I imagine in the future, right? Like it's gonna be a lot more easier to look up that kind of adult content, right? Like
Yeah.
who knows how big OnlyFans is gonna blow up,
yeah, that's right.
right?
That's right.
And then so like I feel like it's even more important in the future to like address these kind of things with your kids before they discover it themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
and like that's gonna be a fucking awkward talk, right? But I think that's something like that is gonna be really important.
No, I agree. You know, I've always wondered, and I've always thought about that too. I've always wanted, and I've told other people this as well, but I've always wanted a swinging porch bench
Okay.
outside my house.
Yeah.
You know, like I imagine, of course, there's going to be a porch outside my house, right? And I
Okay.
imagine there's going to be a swinging bench.
Okay.
And so-
and you'll be sitting there with your shotgun.
No, not sitting there with my shotgun. That's you, John. Your rocking chair. You know, he gonna take my daughter, and then, like, you know, and then,
So you're taking her out to prom, huh?
Bring her back. What time now? 11, sir. Come again. 10.
Oh my god.
That's right. That's what I thought. I just wanted a swinging bench because I think that maybe there's some conflicts during dinner time or dinner table, right? And then the kid's just feeling really sad and everything, and they're like really distraught, or something's happening at school. Then I'll say, you know what, kid? How about come outside with me? Well, let's swing on the bench. And then we would just talk. We would just like
On the
talk.
swinging bench?
Yeah, on the swinging bench, and then you can talk about your problems, and then I can kind of help you with the problems. And I think that would be like a really nice kind of bonding time.
You might as well get hammocks too while you're at it. A swinging
That's
hammock.
that's in the attic.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, you know,
Very
a,
interesting.
a nice place to just talk and talk about things and enjoy it. So I'm going to be installing that. That porch bench is happening for sure.
whether
For
you have,
sure.
whether you have a porch or not.
No, whether I have a porch or not.
And if you don't, you'll install a porch first.
Yeah, that's right. And so that's kind of how I want to do it. Of course, obviously, it's going to be not everybody.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's going to be, like, again, we don't know anything about parenting, but
Yeah.
that's kind of what our goals are. And so life always throws curveballs at us. So it's just a matter of how we deal with these curveballs, right?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, like, I would like to think that I would never have to hit my kid.
Oh my
But-
gosh.
I mean, gosh, I don't know. I might have to, right?
That's right.
I really hope I don't have to.
Oh gosh, that's right. That is true.
You know, like,
Did you ever get hit as a kid?
oh yeah,
Oh
definitely.
yeah, same here all the time.
Oh yeah, I'm not a certified Asian, but I didn't get hit.
Oh, definitely did. For like the silliest of reasons too, like touching things. Like I was just touching a bunch of things when I was not like touching. Like, okay, that just sounds like if we're at a
Touching who now?
if we're at a department store and like I'm touching these teapots and stuff.
Right.
And then she said, no, don't touch it. And I'm like, okay. But then I touched them again, you know, just for science. You know?
You forgot
And
to wait until she was distracted.
Yeah.
To touch the teapot.
And science hurt me back later, hours later,
Yeah.
as we come in. So that's kind of, yeah, I really hope. I don't want to hurt my
Yeah.
kid.
I mean, who knows like what we'll actually do when it comes down to like making the really difficult decisions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. Well, let's hope that day never comes. So the next question that we have, the last question, is: what do you have names? Do you have names already picked out, or names you'd absolutely veto?
Okay. So I actually had somebody ask me this like way back when I was in high school.
Yeah.
In grade 10, right? And then so the first thing I thought was, I'm a fan of Star Wars, and Luke Skywalker is the main character in Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I would call my kid Luke. And my friend was like, so your kid's name would be Luke Luke? And I'm like, let me go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, see, the last names is actually really hard because I'm thinking the same thing too. My last name is pronounced Lee.
Yeah.
Right. So I can't have any like silly names. Like, it can't be Quick. First name's not quick, so it's like quickly. No, that doesn't work. Like, it can't be like punny like that because your child will just hate you. And so, yeah, like you're asking for it to be bullied into high school, and it can't be anything like it can't be any classic, celebrities. One time when I was in Boy Scouts, there is, they're doing a roll call name, and then there was one guy's name is Jackie Chan. And then every time Jackie's name got called, everybody just looks like, oh snap, like you mean
it's Chris Tucker.
international megastar Jackie Chan is in the house right now? No, it's just this tall kid, and his name is Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
And it's just a normal name, but I can't have Bruce Lee. I can't have Jet. And so Bruce and Jet are out of the question.
Right.
And so there's just like a lot of these names that I can't use.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So another name that I had picked out was Bill, because I was thinking of like a list of like famous people. Like, there's Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
There's Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Bill Lou sounds like he could be a famous person one day.
Bill Lou. Blue. There's also Bill Cosby though, so that's just kind of, I don't know what you want to do with that. See, that's also another thing too. As I'm going through certain names, I'm just thinking, what are these celebrity names?
Just don't name your kid after like Daenerys.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, for those who,
Yikes.
that's a Game of Thrones spoiler right there. But those kids who name their daughters after Daenerys, oof.
Oh boy, Khaleesi.
Ooh, rough times. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
I mean, maybe nobody will remember Game of Thrones.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
I'm sure you can submit like a name change.
Yeah.
Sometime soon.
Yes.
Yeah. For me, I kind of like the name Luca. Luca's pretty nice. So
Luca
Luca
Lee?
Lee. Yeah, that's pretty fine. That's fine. Luca Lee. Hey, Luke, it's Luca Lee. I don't know. Now
I don't know about that. I mean, Luca is a cool name. I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but
That's right.
it kind of has a similar problem with Luke.
Yeah. Well, it's not Luke Lou. So
Luca Lou?
Luca Lee. I don't know. Oh, you know what? Now it's just sounding more and more not feasible. I don't know. And it's just originally I was thinking Jason.
Okay.
I always kind of like the name Jason, except my friend literally told me she knows 6 Jason Lees.
Yes.
So I told her, oh, okay. I don't want a name that's too much like a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Some people enjoy really kind of hipster names, like Blake. I don't know if that's considered hipster.
I don't think so.
No.
Blake seems like a regular.
Okay.
It's like not too hipster, but it's not too common.
Yeah, that's right.
I think
Like,
I think that would be a good name.
People really like uncommon names. Like I know a friend likes Zachary.
But you can shorten that to Zach, which is a pretty common name.
Zachary. Well, Zach isn't that common. If you think
Yeah.
about it. I mean, how many Zachs do you know? How many Zachs do I know? I don't know that many Zachs.
Actually, that's true.
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
But I don't think it's like too uncommon that it's like hipster. Like when you were saying hipster names, I was thinking like Apple after Gwyneth Paltrow's kid.
Oh, Apple. No,
Yeah.
there's quite a lot of. I don't like. There's quite a lot of people named Apple. I think especially
Are you
in
serious?
Asian countries. Yeah.
Really?
There's a lot of apples. Yeah. Like a lot of fruit names, like cherry, apple.
I mean, cherry is like pretty common.
Pineapple.
Get the fuck out of here. Pineapple Lou?
Hey,
My kid will fucking hate me.
Pine Lou.
What kind of name is that?
Banana Lou.
I hope one of our viewers out there is not named Pineapple.
Mango Lou. Mango. Does that work?
Oh my god.
I mean, why not mango? If cherry,
Just
apple
stop.
works, why not mango? Why not watermelon? Melon Lee. Oh, Melanie. Oh my gosh.
No.
Melanie is the name, right? Like,
Yes, yes,
people.
yes, it
there you
is.
go. See, there you go. I mean, people name them after cars. Porsche. Like
Yeah,
Porsche.
yeah.
Like, come on.
No.
Come on, right?
What about female names? Like for me, I don't know why, but like when it came to like female names, I wanted to name them after like rare stones, like Jade,
Okay.
and
Yeah, that's
Crystal,
nice. Those are nice names. Sapphire.
Sapphire. Okay, maybe not that one.
Okay. Gemma.
Gemma. I like
Gemma.
Gemma.
I've met a Gemma before.
That's a nice
name.
That's a nice name.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what? I like
Dibs.
Gemma. I like
Dibs. I'm taking that name, John. I'm taking it.
We'll see who has a daughter first.
Okay, all right.
This will be decided by
No,
time.
it's a race. It's a race to see who can conceive a baby first.
A daughter.
A daughter, yeah.
Yeah, because my son is not going to be named Gemma.
I mean, maybe they'll later on choose to be Gemma. You never know, right?
All right.
So-
Well, this is recorded for posterity.
Yeah, that's
Average Asian boys
yeah,
race to see who gets to name the kid Gemma first.
yeah. Gemma Lou. That
Yeah, they both sound really nice.
pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
What about twins? If you ever had twins, would you
Oh
name
my
them? Would you
God.
have like a set where you like name them like?
I've never like thought about twins names
Yeah.
at
Would you
all.
have like an alliteration name
Oh God. Wait, what's
like
an?
Phil and Phyllis?
That sounds.
Phil and Lil from like Rugrats.
Oh man, that just sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. I have never thought about twin names.
No.
No. Well, I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, sounds like you've thought about it.
No, I'm just thinking. Should I go alliteration? Should I go with rhymes? I don't know. I'm wondering about that. I need some time to think about that for sure.
Okay.
Like-
And no names that sound too similar as well.
No, you don't want that.
Like Thompson and Thompson from Tintin. I'm like, which one's who?
That's right. But
I'm
like,
gonna get my sticky notes mixed up.
But yeah, like for example, Henrik and Daniel Sedin, like they're both Henrik and Daniel. They're very much different, right? And so I think
Yeah.
that's
See, that's
fine,
what you
too.
want to be.
Like Mary Kate and Ashley. Those are two very different,
different
names, right?
Yes.
Right. I always like the name Elizabeth. Like
Okay.
Liz Lee. See, I love those alliterations. You see.
Not for me.
And you also have to think about names where they're going to shorten it, right? So my
Yeah.
full name is Raymond,
Yeah.
but everybody always calls me Ray. So you have to think about that too, and you have to like really like consider it. But at least we're not far out, and we're not naming our kids like how Elon Musk named his kid.
I'm just like, I don't even know how to get there.
I don't even know how they got there.
I feel like I would need like a computer generated program to come up with that.
Yeah, that's right. Or there's this one story I forgot where they were at the airport and they named one of them named their kid ABCDE. I don't know if you've seen that.
Seriously?
Absidy is she named it like it's pronounced Absidy.
Okay.
But then the fact that it's like literally spelled ABCDE is just like
Yeah.
you're just also asking.
that's oh man, that's a security threat right there. Holy shit.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
bad for that person.
That's right.
I'm like, who the fuck came up with that?
That's right. And like
Who
you
thought
don't
that was
want-
who thought that was a good idea?
No, I don't know. Like, and you gotta figure out, like how well it goes well with your last name and all those things. Like, you don't.
I mean, like that's only half the battle too. You got to think about what your like your spouse would want too.
yeah,
I mean, in the end, it might not even be our decision at all. It's not going to be our decision at all, actually.
There's gonna be a long debate as to how you're gonna name your child.
I feel like I would have like a very limited veto power, and I have to use it wisely.
Do you have any veto names?
I mean, Luke. we
Wow, it
established-
just went from like top tier to like instant veto.
I mean, you heard it. You heard how it sounded.
It's
It's not great.
I actually know a friend. Her name's Lou. Her last name's Lou as well, and she's Lulu.
Lulu.
Yeah.
That's confusing.
It's Lulu. It's just Lulu.
Lulu.
Yeah, that's right. Which is, it's just whatever, It's Lulu.
I mean, it's really easy to. I feel like you'd get a lot of airport problems too there, actually.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So what other names you're going to veto? I'm going to veto Eugene. I'm sorry for all the Eugenes out there.
What's wrong with Eugene?
I just thought that's a little too old fashioned for me. Gene I like. So maybe I'll do Gene, but not Eugene.
Weird.
Yeah. Maybe not.
I don't think I have any other vetoes that come up to mind at the
Yeah?
moment. Yeah,
Maybe
it
not
just has
Cyrus.
to. It just has to not sound funny with my last name,
Yeah.
which is Lou.
We'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be okay with having like a joint last name? So what if your child is like Lou something,
Right.
Lou Smith? or
I don't like it personally.
whatever. Okay.
I feel like it just makes their life difficult with like a long last name. I
have
mean,
an
mine's short,
Yeah.
but who knows what my partner's last name is going to be, right?
Right. That's right.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah. I mean, I would prefer that they just have one or the other. I'm not a fan of hyphenated names
Okay.
personally.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I don't even care if my spouse wants to keep her last name too.
Right.
Yeah, like that kind
Same
of stuff.
here.
That kind of stuff doesn't matter to me. Mm-hmm. But I feel like with the kid, it should be like one or the other.
Mm.
Ideally. No, yeah, just not a fan of the hyphenation.
Having a 2-letter last name is kind of nice too sometimes.
Yeah.
Just less typing overall.
Exactly. That
Saving
matters.
a lot of time.
That matters.
Yeah, that is true.
These things matter.
These things matter.
Yeah.
And do you know what also matters? Is sending us an email when you have time.
Man, you're on fire with the
Yeah,
segues.
these segues.
episode.
Yeah, so we answered a couple questions about kids and everything. If you have your take on kids, like how you'll plan to raise your kids, whether or not you'd adopt, and what are the names? If you can give us some names. Clearly, we don't really have a set list right now in terms of what kind of names we want for your child, because we feel that is something that we're going to deal with a long time down the road. It won't be happening for
Won't
a
be
while.
anytime soon.
Won't be anytime soon. Unless one day, John, we decide, screw the life partners, you and I can co-parent a child. That could happen too.
like adopt a child.
Yeah, you can co-parent one.
Okay.
I mean, we both want the same things, and looks like we both have similar parenting styles.
That could be bad. That could be really, really bad.
What do you mean? Or really, really good?
Because I feel like you're like, don't you want like the other person to like kind of balance you out, to like check you?
You keep me grounded, right? Did we talk about that last time? What the? Anyways, write into us at aapodcast@gmail.com. And if if you want to leave us a great review on anywhere you can find your podcasts, Apple, Google, Spotify, and of course YouTube.
All the good stuff.
Yeah. So so hope you enjoyed our episode today, and we hope to see you next week.
Yeah.
Okay, see you. I tell you, man, co-parenting parent. It's gonna be a thing. It'll be great.
Oh my gosh.
We'd raise. I mean, I'm okay with not naming Luke Luli.
God.